There we go. Oh, wait. Hang on. Not quite yet. There we go. All right, what's up, familia? Welcome inside the hotel room. Hope you guys are doing good. Keeping between the lines. Got your load secure out here in the hotel, man. Living that trucker life. You know what I mean? What's up, Andres? Is it going to be live? We are live, dog. Yes, unless you're watching this not live. In that case, then it's not live. You know what's going on, Rita? I dropped the link right there. The link is pinned for anybody that just wants to come in, chop it up. The last time I did this, I said that I'm not going to have a guest this week, that this week I'll just have the link right from the jump. If anybody wants to jump on and, chop it up about this subject specifically. And if not, man, there's a couple of things I'm going to go over anyway. So, what's up, P Daddy? Let me see. Strange Days. What's going on, man? Precious Shorty 7. Hello, right back to you. So let me just go ahead and catch everybody up for those that don't know what's going on. I'm sure most of you guys know, but for those that don't know, I am covering child molestation once a month for this whole year. So we're pretty much at the end of the year, pretty much at the end of the line here. So somebody was asking me, hey, so once this year is over, are you never going to talk about this again? No, that's not it. It's just I made a commitment in the beginning of this year. Again, if you guys don't know, I was sexually molested as a child, and I've had guests on here that were sexually molested as kids. I made a commitment this year for one reason or another. I don't know. It just came to me. And I just said that once a month this year, I'm going to be covering this subject because nobody else talks about it. I don't hear anybody else talking about it. So I made that commitment and I'm sticking with it. So after this year, am I going to continue covering it? Yes, but probably not once a month. It's kind of hard to get guests. There's been numerous of people that have got at me to tell me what's happened to them, but they don't want to come on and share their story. And that's cool, man. I'm not going to try to twist their arm or, try to force them to come on here and tell their story, man. And some of them, it's sad to say, man, that some of them, their abuser is still around, and it's sad because some of them is some of their family members and they're still around them, and that's a tough position to be in. It's a very tough position to be in. I remember I read a letter earlier this year and damn dog, it kind of made me man, it made me sad and mad at the same time, dog. I wanted to cry a little bit, because I was sad but pissed off too, right? Just from what that letter said, man. And that individual has not been on here, but I've been in contact with them, and basically he just kind of shared his story that he was sexually abused. I should have had the letter in front of me, but I think by his grandfather or uncle or something like that, right? And he just kind of went on about his life, man, and that his nephews spent a lot of time with that same uncle or grandfather or something like that, right? And he sees that anger in his nephew, so now he just feels He just believes that they were abused by him as well. And he's angry with himself, but he still hasn't said anything, man. And that's just a tough position to be in, man. It's just a rough position to be in, dog. It sucks, man. But we're gonna get to a couple of things. If anybody wants to hit the link, feel free. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting into some of this stuff. Hit the link whenever. It doesn't really matter if you guys just wanna. You don't have to share your story. Just give your thoughts, or maybe if anybody knows anybody in the family that it happened to, or just any questions, anything, man. The floor is definitely open. What is up, Faith Ford? Gracias for being here. Hey, Faith, what part of the East Coast you at, girl? I think I've seen you say a few times that you're out in the East Coast. What part? Thankful I was never molested as a child. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I know, man. It's unfortunate. It does happen, man. Let's get into something, because I was reading something. It blew my mind, dog. It blew my mind, Holmes. And we're gonna get into that, man. Again, for anybody that okay, let me get right to the top here. If you guys want to hit the link, it should be pinned up there. I believe I pinned it. If not, I'll go ahead. Okay, she says New York. New York City, downtown New York. Damn, Faith, that's what's up. You know, I've never been to New York, but I plan on making my way there. All right. Okay, let me. This one is just kind of like recapping, but then I'm gonna get into a couple of new things, man. Some things that is probably gonna blow you guys' mind a little bit, right? So, what actually is molestation? This I've kind of gone over a little bit, right? Molestation, the crime of sexual acts with children up to the age of 18, including touching of private. Oh, yeah, parent discretion is advised. I should put that out, right? The criminal of sexual acts with children up to the age of 18, including touching of private parts, exposure of genitalia, taking pornographic pictures, rape. What I miss? I know there was more. Okay, here we go. Inducement of sexual acts with the molester or with children, and various of these acts by pedophiles. Let me see. Now let me get to what I wanted to get to. Aha. Okay. Couple of good ones right here, man. All right. Pedophiles with single mothers. Okay. Single moms. And we've been bringing this up. What's up, Vanessa? We've been bringing this up. Okay. Check this out. Okay. With single mothers here. All right. Predators tend to gravitate towards areas that put them in close contact with children, family, schools, churches, sports, etc. Children of single mothers are particularly vulnerable because pedophiles often cozy up to mom in order to get close to children who need a father figure. That cannot make any more sense, man. That makes just the most total sense right there. Right? It's dude trying to date single mom, right? Who's struggling. She's got a couple of kids. And while I don't want to throw so much on the single mom, okay, I'm sure it can be rough to be a single mom. You know, I was raised by a single mom. You know, once all that's broken up, once the home is broken up and dad is no longer in the picture, there's so much that is broken, right? It's not just the relationship, there's so much sacred that was there that is now, it's all dysfunctional now, right? That's why I never praise the whole thing of like, hey, yeah, man, single moms, like childless, man. That is the wrong message to send to the youth, right? You're sending to the young boys that, hey, man, you're not really needed. You're not really needed. Your role as a father is not really needed. Don't you see all the praise that single moms get? They're superheroes. And then it sends the message to the young girls that, hey, you don't need the dad around. You could do it on your own, making it about you. And it's not about you, it's about the kids. But that's another subject, Holmes. I'm going to get off my soapbox, dog, because if not, I'm going to go on a rant, man, because I do not like this whole praising of single moms. Anyway, with single moms, man, that feel a little bit down and out because now they feel that they cannot be, they now have kids, right? Now it's a package deal. When they get out into the dating world, it's now a package deal. And that kind of makes it rough. Right? It does. It makes it really rough, man. It's not just, oh, you're just dating her now, or like she feels like, hey, it's just me, now it's just gonna be you and I. No, it's a whole package deal. You're bringing like a whole little Brady Bunch kind of family together now, man, and that can get very rough, dog. So she might be overlooking a couple of things, right? Overlooking a couple of signs, overlooking a couple of things because she's probably not going to find the one Mr. Perfect that she has in mind, right? Her options are now limited because she is a single mom and she has, it's a package deal. Again, there's always exceptions, Holmes. There's always exceptions. In no way whatsoever am I saying any of this is impossible. But for the most part, a lot of these things do happen, right? And moms can kind of tend to I don't want to use the word settle, but they know their options are limited. What's going on, Beacon of Light? Man, you know what? I should have used the intro that you put on, that you gave me, Beacon of Light. Let me see. Faith, number one, I will keep that in mind. Single mom, yes. Keep that in mind, definitely. Some single moms get so attached and don't even notice what's going on. Yeah, 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 it could be because look, man, depending on who it is, but having a single mom and also depending on how many kids you got, right? If you got 3 kids or so, it's unfortunate, but hey, man, let's be honest, right? The mom, her confidence on what she can attract to get a very serious relationship is probably not that high. For the most part, again, let's not get into exceptions. For the most part, right? This is why, to avoid all that, man, get to the family structure, man, that is so sacred and so beautiful that we just kind of, throw over the shoulder like, oh, well, it just is. You got a bunch of stepdad, stepmom, stepbrother, stepsister, half brother, half sister. Like, man, dog, it is crazy, Holmes. And then it's time for, Thanksgiving or something like that. And it's just all over the place, right? It's just a mess, dog. But it's the mess that, the hint that we put on ourselves, man. Those are all self-afflicting wounds, but we don't want to call it out. We'll just point the finger at something else. Anyway, man, let me get back to this because it gets better. But let me yes, what I don't understand is the mom that have been abused themselves and move in with any guy they just meet or bring them to live with her. Yeah, precious, and you know, it's a thing. It's kind of like what I was saying, right? Her confidence isn't probably that high, because she knows it's a whole package deal now, and you know, options get a little limited. So I think single moms will probably be a little bit more to, I don't want to say look the other way, but just kind of like, okay, it's not that bad, right? I'm not talking about abuse. I'm not even going there yet, right? We're going to get there, but I'm not even going there yet. But kind of look past things and saying, like, well, you know what? He or she's not that bad of a person. Let's see. I was molested as a child. If you go to my channel, you can hear my testimony under playlist. Speaking of light, I would love to have you on, brother. I really would, man, and tell your story here, man. Most, not all, but most of those single moms talk about raising. I'm not gonna put that up, pumps. I get what you're saying, though. Let me see. I come against every generational curse in the name of Jesus Christ. I know it's hard, but you have to stay very vigilant. Yeah, you gotta stay very vigilant. At the same time, you know what? As especially girls, man. Yes, guys too, but especially girls. Most, again, let's not get to the exception. Okay, I'm not talking about the exceptions. Most girls have a fear of getting older and being alone. Yes, some guys are like that as well, but generally speaking, most girls have that fear of getting older and not having someone. Kids grow up at some point and start their own lives, right? All right, let me get to this. Spencer, let me see. Okay, how do you spot a child predator? All right, so this is well, let me just get to it. Okay, gives gifts or special privileges for no apparent reason, overly affectionate, playful with children, hugging, tickling, wrestling, holding, or having a child sit on their lap, which that's all weird to me, dog. Like, let me see. Disregards no stop or other efforts from a child to avoid physical contact, long stares or periods of watching a child. Um, I've shared my story numerous of times, and I've said I feel weird around kids. When a kid comes, when kids just come and they give me a hug, it's like, okay, get off me. Like, that's weird, man. I feel odd. I don't like affection like that, man. Um, Even with my nieces and family and stuff, like I don't. Nah, dog. It just feels weird and off to me. Hey, man, a nice little punch on the shoulder or a little nuggie on the head. All right. But all this, uncle or this or whatever, come get hug. It's like, nah, go over there. You know, let's just, pump fists and we're good, man. We don't need all this huggy and lovey-dovey stuff, man. I don't feel right. I don't know. Maybe it's because of my experience. I've talked to a couple people, and they said they had the same thing. They feel the same way, and they came over. They got over it. Whatever it may be, I still don't feel. I don't know, man. Affection from kids is weird to me. But uh, let me see. Okay, what are the signs of grooming? Okay, so there's the whole thing of grooming a child, basically preparing the child, right, for the predator to make the child their own, right, get them under their command, to get them to do things without going and telling the parents. This is what happened to me, right? It was a neighbor. It was a neighbor kid. It just didn't just happen just out of nowhere. he was kind of like the cool older kid. It's not like I didn't know him or anything like that. No, he was the cool older kid, man. There was abuse going on in my house. And look, we spent time outside, and I'm sure he saw that my household wasn't all that great, and started grooming me, man. Started making me feel like, hey, you're kicking it with me, like the older kid. We're like, you're cool, man. You're cool, and it's like, yeah, you know what? All of that, dog. Like, yeah, Holmes, I'm cool. I'm kicking it with the big kid, right? Starts the grooming process, right? And that's a very dangerous place to be, because then kids are most likely not gonna go say what happened to them. So, what are the signs of child grooming? Okay, targeting specific kids for attention, gifts, or activities, slowly isolating a kid from family members and friends, physically and emotionally. So basically, in this case, like in my case, man, we spend a lot of time outside, right? So if your kid is not spending a lot of time with you, that's an issue. That is an issue. The importance of building a relationship with your kid, not just like, oh, that's my kid and that's that. Every now and then we'll go out and get something to eat. No, man, on a daily basis. How was school? Doing homework with them, even if you're tired, whatever it may be, man, you sacrifice. DVR your favorite shows or something, man, and you're gonna have to watch them another day, but on a daily basis, knowing who they hang out with, knowing their friends, right? Knowing the friends' parents, that's important, right? Just on a daily basis, spending that time with them, right? Going outside and throwing the ball around with them, man. All that good stuff. Man, somebody's banging the door over here. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but yeah, all that stuff. Because if it's just a go play outside, get out there, which was kind of like my case, you know, they could fall in the hands of another kid, an older kid. And for an older kid to groom a younger kid, it's very easy. It's very easy, especially if there's no father figure around. For especially a young boy that wants to look up to an older father figure. I see your guys' chats. I'll get to them in just a second, man. That wants to look up to a father figure, an older role model. Young boys seek that. Okay, we seek that, and if we're not getting it at home, and it's just go play outside, right? Hey, man, a kid that's 5 years older, as a little kid, 5 years is a big difference. You see that 5-year-old kid, man, like he's unstoppable. Like he's just older, man. That kid can groom your young child 3-4 years. I remember, shoot, being in the second grade, hearing about a fourth grader. To me, it was like, damn, like they're big, you know. So keep through, child, with all that, right? Continuing, undermining relationships with parents and friends that show. Oh, sorry about that. Let me start again. Undermining relationship with parents and friends to show that no one understands you like I do. Gradually pushing or crossing physical boundaries. Have that great relationship with your kids. Okay. If you don't understand your kids, all right, make that effort to understand them. Okay. This thing about they pick up something over here or they pick up something over there. And it's like, man, I'm not really that into what they're into. I don't really dig it too much. Doesn't matter. Show some interest in it, right? Because all it takes is for somebody to show interest in what they're in. And then the kid says, like, yeah, nobody in my house likes it or whatever, Oh, it's because they don't understand you. Bam. They just made a connection right there with your child. that your house does not understand you, but guess what? I do. Okay, that's grooming. And that's a strong weapon, man. That's a strong weapon. And that first step right there is one step in a mile that can just be covered like that. So understand that, man. There's a great one right here I'm gonna get to, but before I do that, let me go through. Let me see what you guys are saying right here. See. If I missed some of you guys, I apologize. Let's see. I always tell my kids no one should touch their private parts, not even Mr. Your mom or anyone. And it's wonderful to do hanging with your kids. Yeah, hang out with your kids, you know. Don't take it so far where you're not their parent, right? Don't take it so far where it's like, oh, you know what, we're camaradas, we're buddies. No, you're their parent, but don't take it, you know, have that nice little balance, right? Don't take it so far where it's like you're not mom, you're not dad anymore. Now you're their friends, and don't flip it so far the other way where it's like now we don't really have much of a relationship other than the title of mom and dad. I don't know, when you had your babies, did you hug them? Um, yeah, well, let me go back, put that back up. Yeah, I did, but I was never really that affectionate with them. I, for those who don't know, man, I just recently told my sons. I got two sons. I just recently told them that I love them last year for the first time ever. I've never told them that I love them. Um, it sucks, you know. So many people that were telling me like, "Hey, man, tell them you love them. Tell them you love them." And I don't know. It came really hard to me to tell them, "Hey, I love you." You know, I it took me making a promise to a good man, a friend of mine, Danny Hernandez. I've had him on here before, not about this, but he shared his story about losing his son, um, which has got to be one of the toughest things. And he was telling me, "You gotta tell your sons you love them. You've never told them you love them." No, never. I never have, man. You know, I love them. I know I do, but I've never told them that. I've never told them I love them. And you know, we're having a nice, good, long conversation. I said, "You know what, Danny? I promise you, man to man, I promise you, I'm gonna tell them I love them by the time the year's over." And I think, I think it was like, I think it was like December 30th, man, of last year. I went and I told them I love them, and I haven't told them since. Big up to you for speaking openly. This Thecholotrucker. More males need to feel free to speak about these things. As males, boys, we need to heal and become strong and sound. Hey, I agree, Nappy. Yes, brother. You know, I mean, so many. Look, and Pastor Tony's in here. He shared his story here on this channel as well. He was molested. Look, you know, this rips apart the soul, man. It takes so much, right? For those that have been molested as a kid, you already know, and you self-destruct, right? You don't really value too much of life. And it's sad to say, my niece who passed away due to overdose earlier this year, I come to find out afterwards that she was sexually molested. You know, she overdosed at the age of 17, you know. And it's so unfortunate, man, that I found out after she passed away that this happened to her. Because had I known, I think I could probably made that strong connection with her. She was really crying for help. She was really struggling in life. You know, she was, uh, I mean, she just wasn't listening, man. She was just a rebel, right? And had I known this, man, I would have loved to talk to her and be like, hey, yeah, this happened to me too, and who knows, man? Maybe it would have made a difference. Maybe it wouldn't have. I don't know, but it's unfortunate. And then my young brother too. He's not literally my blood young brother, but he was actually my young brother and my ex young brother-in-law. But him and I still kept connected like this, man. Um, Come to find out, after he died, I come to find out that he was sexually molested as well, you know, and he was self-destruct. He drank himself to death at the age of 32. I mean, this is self-destructing, man. This lasts, throughout your life, right? So it really tears you apart, and you just start self-destructing, and you start you don't value your life, you don't value yourself as much. And that's why I think a lot, I think this has happened much more than what we see statistically, right? My statistics aren't on there. I never reported any of them. This happened to me 3 times by 3 different people in 3 different stages of my life. I never reported any of them. Along with so many that have gone unreported. So I know the statistics are higher. Let me see. My son trying to get into dressing cholo, but to me that's getting into drama. So I tell him to dress sporty. Is that wrong? I don't think it's wrong. I just think, what's his influence coming from? Is his influence coming from troublemaking? Is his influence coming from a cultural standpoint? What's the influence behind him dressing that way? Is he following somebody? Is there somebody in his life that he's looking to follow and become like? I think the reasoning behind, I think it's what really matters. Hey, what's up, Ghetto Vallero Trucker? Let me see. I came against all barriers that are up between you showing love to others. Holy Spirit consumes my brother's heart. I I still find it weird, man. And to tell you the truth, I'm gonna be real. I don't even really try. Maybe I should, man. Maybe I should. You know what? I'm gonna make it a point to actually start trying, because I don't even try to break that barrier, man. I just feel like, you know what? As long as you're not hugging me and staying away from, I'm good. And I don't even try. So I think I should try, man. I don't think I know I should try, but I don't. I'm gonna make it a point, man. Cholo, they know you love them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They know faith. It's just, I guess it's just so important to say it. That's what people tell me. It's so important to say it. Sorry for your loss, Cholo. Yeah. Hey, I mean, there's been so many losses for everybody this year, man. Condolences to everybody that's lost somebody this year. It's unfortunate, but let's learn and let's move forward, right? Yes, it is true. Always tell them you love them, because when my cousin lost my tia, she cried too and told Prima, never told my mom I loved her. I told her, always tell your kids it's good. Yolanda, you're right. You're right. You are so right. I should tell them. I should tell them more than just once. Like, I told them that one time, and then I was like, okay, that's it. That's and nah, that's I should probably well, not probably. I should tell them again. All right, let me if anybody wants to jump on. What's up, Dolores? Saludos to you and your wife, Cholo Trucker. Yeah, I'm not at home right now, but she is. I'm over here at the hotel room. Okay, let me get to this other one that's good, man. Mm, 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 mm. Where'd it go? Okay. Well, before I get to that, there's this one. All right, let me see. And it kind of just goes with the one that I was reading just before this. The offender may also groom the parents by persuading them of his or her worthiness with children. I mean, that kind of a no duh. The process of grooming may last months or even years to break through the child's defenses and increase the child's acceptance of physical contact. The stage of grooming may include targeting the victim. I don't know how they do these studies, but if somebody's sticking around for years, that's wow. You know, before they're gonna go ahead and get on their sick predatory fetish, they're gonna hang around for years to make that happen. Hey man, that's rough because as a parent, right? For all parents, you could hang out with somebody. That means you could be hanging out with somebody for 3 years. And it's like, hey, there's no problems. There's never been a problem. And those 3 years, they're just like, hey, I'm just trying to get at your kids, and it's like there could be that trust, there could be that bond, man, in those 3 years that you can really build a relationship with, said person. That's a rough one. Again, I don't know how they do these studies. I don't know, I'm just reading off what they're put out there. And this is let me see. This shoot, I think I just lost it. This is from interchopen.com. Um no, that was the other one. Sorry about that. No, this is from, yeah, that was the other one. This is from icmec.org. The one I just read was from icmec.org. How they do that, I don't know. I can't tell you guys. I really don't know. This one's a little interesting. It focuses on the females a little bit. FSO, female sexual offenders, are among the most radically unrepresented sexual offenders in criminal justice system. Some studies suggest that anywhere from 15 to 20% of sexual offenses are committed by females. And yes, because the last abuser for me was a female. The next one is the one that I really want to get to. But before I do that, if just anybody wants to jump on, if not, it's cool. I'll just go on your comment or read you guys' comments right here. And let's see. What's up, AC? Tapping and show support. I appreciate that, Carnal. I appreciate that, brother. Let me see. The reason him dressing like Cholo is friends who's a boxer, the culture, and TikTok. Yeah, I mean it's becoming a little bit of a trend, a little bit more of a fad. I was at an event over the weekend, and I saw some young kids, dressing like that, man. And I'll just go ahead and say this, man, because I don't know what position where you're at with your child or anything like that. But just for me personally, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was beautiful seeing kids with creased up pants, man. It was just and just taking the time to look a certain way. It made me feel proud. Um, does it come with that whole stigma? I don't know. I think that's going away, man. Because in all reality, what gangbangers do you see that are out there with creased up, Ben Davis and Charlie Brown shirts? I don't see any gang. I have not seen, and I'm not changing the subject, but I have not seen gangbangers. I'm talking about true gangbangers, homie. I have not seen gangbangers dressed like that, like in what, 25 years? Maybe even more. Maybe even more. Even in the late 90s, dog, ain't nobody, wearing Dickies, creasing up their pants, Nike Cortezes, Charlie Brown shirts all creased up. That was already gone. I was banging in the 90s, homie. That was already gone. So when people say like, "Oh, why do you dress like a gang member?" Like, gang member from when? A gang member from 1985? Like that? I no, gang bangers don't dress like that anymore. They got some other stilo and style. I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, you know what? I did appreciate the culture aspect to it, man. It was good to see. Let me see. You know how it is. Actions speak louder than words. You're right about that. You're right about that. What is up? Motto is up in here, man. Okay, let me see. My dad told me he loved me when he was drinking, and I loved it so much. I miss my dad. RP, RP to your pops, man. That's what's up, man. So only when he was drinking, huh? Damn. Yeah, I guess that's got to be kind of rough, man. Hit the like, yo. Hey, I appreciate that, model. I appreciate that, brother. Let me see. I could be wrong, but I think molestation was more in the 90s. What you think? Well, here there is. I wasn't even really gonna read this one, but there is one. Uh, aha. Okay. We're all in the new technology age right here, right? So this is from nspcc.org, right? A couple of warning signs. Being very secretive about how they're spending time, including while online, right? A lot of the whole grooming stage can be like this online, you know. And then when they meet the person in person, there's no need to groom anymore, right? It can just be the action now because they have built a relationship, and that includes video games. I shared this before right here on here, man. For those that didn't hear it, one time, uh, my son, years ago when he was a kid, he was playing video games, right? And his mom walked in on him, and you could play online with people all across the world, and she was like, "Man, you're still up this late? What the heck? Now turn this off." And that she heard the voice of a grown man playing video games with my son on the other side, right? On the headset. Like, what the hell? So we had to have that conversation with my son and be like, "Hey, no, no, that's not Spencer. That ain't cool, man." You know. So understand as things expand, like things like technology and everything, all this stuff can be used in so many different ways, Holmes. So if you got your kids playing video games, try to keep tap a little bit on, hey, who you playing with, or if an 11-year-old is playing with a 40-year-old, I don't know, man, that's a little bit odd to me already. That's a little bit weird. Me myself, I don't play video games, so I don't really know how it all works. But I wouldn't feel right, dog, if there's a kid on there where we're chopping it up playing video games. It wouldn't. I wouldn't feel right, you know. But so we're in the technology age, man. So the whole grooming session that I was just talking about can be built through technology, and all they got to do is just meet the person one time, and that one time can be after school, it can be during school, it just one time, and that whole grooming thing, it's already been done. So now it's just the action, right? So it's something to be aware of. Okay, this is what I really want to get into, because this is gonna piss me off, man. All right, so let me see, Felipe. I think if anything, it's only going to get worse, unfortunately. Well, I mean, with technology, man, We just gotta police it. We just gotta police the technology, man. Okay, look, now this is of this year. Okay, we're talking about 2022. This is from voicepk.net. Okay, voicepk.net. This is from January to June. All right, the first 6 months of 2022 that I'm going to read off stats. Okay, first, let me read this right here. Okay, there has been a 17% increase in child sexual abuse stats from last year's statistics revealed that during the first 6 months of 2022, the first 6 months, January to June, Holmes. Okay. Now I'm going to read off some numbers. Again, how do they come up with all this stuff? I don't know. I got no idea. Okay. But this is from voicepk.net. All right. The first 6 months this year. Okay. We're not talking after June, just the first 6 months. Check this out. In the first 6 months of 2022, there have been 35 children that have been sexually abused and murdered, which means they were killed, but they were sexually abused first. 35. Did you hear of any of these cases? Because I didn't. I heard a lot of stuff on the news, but I did not hear about this. Again, this is the first 6 months of this year, homie. 35 kids in the first 6 months of 2022 were basically sexually raped and then murdered. I don't remember hearing 35 stories, man. That's a rough one. That's a rough one, man. This one is a little bit sketchy, and I'll explain why. Okay, 212 kids this year that have the first 6 months of this year that have gone missing. 212. Now, the reason why that one is a little bit chalky is because I don't know how they did their stats. Researching all this stuff, one kid can go missing numerous of times. Hey, Holmes, how does that work? Let me explain. If your kid runs away, right, and they're reporting missing, it goes down as a child's missing. Now that child is returned. Okay, they don't erase that and say like, oh, the child's not missing anymore. Scratch it. No, it still stays there. And if that child runs away again, well, now that's another case. Now that's 2 times, right? It doesn't just count per person. So I don't know how what did I say? I don't know how Voice PK did their study, if they took that into account or not. That I do not know. So you can have one child missing numerous of times. If they go missing, if they run away numerous of times and they're reported missing, then that's how many times it goes down in the child missing case file. That, it's not just for one kid, right? So that one's a little bit chalky right there, man. Okay, this one's a little bit weird. 26 child marriages. I was trying to look up a little bit of information for that. That's basically kids that got the okay from their parents to marry an adult. Let's just move on, dog. Let's just move on, man. If not, I'm just going to blow a fuse, dog. 26 child marriages that the parents okayed for their child under 18 to marry an adult. Now, I know we all think of probably like a 15-year-old marrying a 20-something-year-old. I mean, maybe it can be a 17-year-old marrying a 20-year-old or whatever. I mean, I don't know, or a 17-year-old marrying an 18-year-old. It could be somewhere along that line, but that's oh man. I'll just move on, dog. I'll just move on. Okay, this one is a little bit scary, man. Um, 59 new cases of children that were abducted and were forced into child pornography. 59 in the first 6 months of this year. 59 kids, 59 new kids that were used in child pornography. Um, damn, damn. There's a market out there, so that's why they do it, right? So it is. It gets rough, man. And it does kind of get to me a little bit that mainstream doesn't, really cover this too much. They every now and then you do hear a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it doesn't really get a lot of not a lot of eyeballs go to stories like that, man. For one reason or another, not really sure. It doesn't get a lot of eyeballs, so thus mainstream media is not really going to cover it too much, man, because not a lot of people are too interested in it. So they just move on and see what moves the needle and what people are interested in. So it sucks, man, because I would like there to be more coverage of it and really put that out there, man, because these things are happening. And let me see, what was the last? I know there was one more that I want to read off. It gave an actual number. No, I already read that one off. Damn it. You know what? I lost it. I think it said, if I remember it correctly, I think it said 12 children have been molested every day for the first 6 months. On average, 12 kids every day have been molested for the first 6 months of this year. I want to find it just so I could tell you guys where you could look that up. I know I saw it somewhere. For one reason or another, oh well. But I think it was somewhere around that, man. Every single day that they've been molested in the first 6 months. So, just in the first 6 months, man, of this year has been pretty hectic when you think about it. If those studies are correct, and again, there's so much that goes unreported. So the numbers could be much, much higher, right? And it's definitely an issue. It definitely goes on, and it's always one of those things, man, where it's just kept quiet and let's just keep it under wraps and not bring shame to the family, because most of the times it happens with a family member, and that's the scary part, man. Let me before we wrap it up, let me go ahead and Guerrero Vallero says, like in the Middle East, do that for money. Oh yeah, especially like the marriages and stuff like that. Let me see. I think if parents marry their young kids, they don't have no faith in their kids' future. Yeah, I never really thought of that. It's like I don't have any daughters, but if I did, ain't no way, homie. Ain't no way, dog. Some fools here come and ask for my daughter's hand while she's still in high school. Like, man, fool, get the hell out of here. Not only that, but the fact that happened, just the fact that action is taking place means I have a lot of work to do with my daughter just the fact that she's considering doing something like that, that means I need to take a nice long look in the mirror and say, wow, I've been failing my daughter for her to consider to do something like that. I need to step up my game, man. I need to step up my daddy duties, homie. For my daughter to even think, for something like that to even cross her mind. I'm failing as a father. I gotta step on my game up, Holmes. So, but nah, I'll tell that fool kick stick, man. It ain't gonna go well. It won't go well. In the 30s, I was normally 25, marrying a 14, 15-year-old. Asked grandparents how old when they met. I know a lot of them, and I was shocked. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Joe. Like, you talk to a lot of real old timers, right? I like talking to like World War II veterans, and if you guys are watching this live, the anniversary is coming very soon for Pearl Harbor, December 7th, and I like talking to World War II veterans. There's not many of them left, and yeah, you're right, Joe. A lot of them say they got married when they were still teenagers. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Back in the days in Mexico, it was common for, let's say, a 24-year-old man to marry a 13-year-old girl. Times have changed, and glad they have. Yeah, man, it's crazy, dog. It's crazy because man, homie, like I don't even have a daughter. Okay, I don't even have a daughter. There's just imagine it. There is no way, dog, that you're gonna have some vato come up and say, "Can I marry you?" Even if she's 17. Can I'd like to take your daughter's hand in marriage, and that fool's 25. Fool, good, homie. You know what? I'm just gonna give you this pass because I don't think you know any better, dog. But just let it be this once, fool. Kick sticks, homie. And I gotta step up my game as a dad, as a father, because I'm failing my daughter for her to even think of something like that. What's up, Denise? So with that, familia, I'm probably gonna wrap it up. Been on here for just about an hour. I'll probably go just about another minute and just tell you guys what I said in the beginning of the video is when somebody asked me, am I going to stop covering this when once the year is over? No, but I'm probably not going to be covering it every single month. It gets a little difficult, like I said, to get people on to share their stories and all. But definitely, I'll still talk about it. Next month is December. It's the last month of covering this subject on a monthly basis, and I'm trying to plan something big on it. And I know it's the month of like celebration, right? Christmas and New Year and all that good stuff. So we're gonna try to make it fun. I'm not saying child molestation is fun. I'm gonna try to have people come on that have shared their story on and just share their growth, man. Because not everybody has grown from it, dog. Not everybody. Some is taking them to the grave. Some is caused them to self-destruct in a very bad way, Holmes. And it sucks, dog. It sucks, man. It's sad. It's really sad how just they just don't have any value for themselves and just destroy themselves, man. And but that's why this is a very serious topic, because once this happens to somebody, it affects them for the rest of their life. There needs to be a lot of fixing. There needs to be a lot of attention to that child. It's not just, oh, you know what? He or she is locked up and they're never going to touch you again. Okay. All right. So we're good. It will never happen to you again. They're locked up. They're never going to get out, which is not true for one weird reason or another. The law, a lot of the times, or I shouldn't say a lot of times, but sometimes it's pretty soft. on these type of crimes for whatever reason. I don't get it. But I do want to say, man, it's not that simple where you just say, hey, that person is gone, they're locked up, they're no longer going to do this to you. Okay, so now let's move on in life. It doesn't work that way. That person needs a lot of help. Dang it, Denise, you got to take me into overtime, don't you? What's up, girl?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good, good. How you doing?
I'm good. I was driving. I got the notification, and then I just got in right now. But I wanted to touch on something real quick. And I don't know what your advice would be, but my sister recently told me that my stepdad, that been my stepdad since I was 3 or 5. I'm sorry.
Hmm?
Um, Told me that he molested her, and um, he had passed in '93.
Mm,
And she just came out with this right now,
yeah, yeah.
and
Is
she's
it? Is
like, I'm
this?
not telling my mom because my mom will die. My mom would just like probably have a heart attack. She's 70. My mom's 78 right now.
Mm,
And I didn't even tell my mom of what happened to me, but we'll talk about that soon. um
mm,
but with her, yeah, it wasn't the same person at all. But she came out with that, and it was hard to believe, for me to believe her. And I'm like, why didn't you say something a long time ago, when he was alive? um and what is making it come out right now? And she was like, oh, because I just remembered. And because her two granddaughters had gotten molested last month. We
mm.
found out that my cousin that just got out, was touching them because he was high as hell. And um really, I didn't tell anybody this story about the my nieces, but there was two of them, the two little sisters. And one's 14 and one's 16.
Mm.
So that came out last month, and then she came out with this a couple weeks ago. And I'm just like, what do we do? What do I do? What can I do? Um, it's like I said, it's not hard to, it's hard to believe, like I believe her. I'm
Mm.
just like trying to realize, like trying to play back like his life, my stepdad's life, and my life, and how things were. And of course he spoiled me. I was 5 up until, my 20s. Um, and then he passed away, like I said, in '93. I don't know, just like, man, what do it hit home with the girls, because too, like, she's not getting no help for the girls, and my cousin's out there homeless, running around with nothing, like nothing.
Yeah, yeah. That's the self-destructing part that I was talking about.
Hmm.
You know, I will say, I shared my story of story with my niece. Right, I found out after she had OD'd.
Hmm.
What is it for you to do, Denise? I would say that I would wish that my niece and my young brother were still around, and
Hmm.
me knowing that that happened to them, so I can some way just try to connect with them. Maybe
Yeah.
it'll do something, maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. But the thing is, I found out after,
Right.
once it was too late. And
And you
you
know
know,
what, Cholo,
they're
my
still there. They're still here doing their thing. So, you're
gratefully, and praise God for that, because the little one, she's 14. I said, she OD'd on fentanyl twice already.
oh, right.
And you know, we're asking, I mean, I asked her, like, what is going on and why? And she's like, I just don't like my life. And I said, well, Miha, that's, I, that's crazy. I'm here for you. I'll talk with you. I'll do whatever you need me to do. You can't be doing that. What if they don't, what if, you don't survive next time?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. It's not gonna, I don't know what to do. I really don't. I never told my mom what happened, but my older sister that passed away, no, knew.
Mm,
She was there. And it sucks because yeah, they need therapy, but I'm not their mother. I can't be taking them to therapy every day or whatever time they need to go.
Yeah, I mean it makes it tough. See, I like, and for instance, like my niece, right? I
Mhm.
like to believe that I could have connected with her, but you're right. It's not like I lived right down the street, and if the mom uh would have, kind of been like, no, you're not gonna be, coming and talking to her, whatever, stuff like
Yeah,
that. I mean, there's only, yeah, there is only so much you can do, right? There's only
yeah,
so much one can do. I never really thought of it that far ahead till just you
hmm
mentioned it. It's like, yeah, the mom could have easily stepped in and been like,
and
"No,
it's sad because the
she'll be
mom
fine.
is
We'll take care of it.
yeah.
After all, it's not like because it's my niece through my brother,
Okay.
right? And she
Yeah.
didn't live with my brother; she lived with her mom. So,
Oh, okay.
right, so yeah, just thinking about it now, yeah, there might have been a barrier right there where maybe I couldn't have connected with my niece,
Yeah.
but I would have at least had the opportunity
Yeah.
to try, you
Yeah,
know.
I do check
tr-
in on them. I do call
Yeah,
them when I find them, if they're at my sister's house. But the mom, my niece is a very young mother. She already has like 5 kids, and like those are the two oldest ones, and then she has 3 little ones that are like under 5, whatever,
mm,
6. But it's sad that I know that all I could do is call them you know whenever I could find them at my sister's house. I'll talk to them, see how they're doing. But it's not the same. Like
right.
it's not the same. Just not. I wish I could be there more. I just wish I could be there more, and I pray for them, and I tell them that I pray for them, and it's just this sucky situation, man. I'm trying to deal with my sister too. Like, she has problems. My sister has really bad problems. But that's another story. But not a good example.
Mm,
She's she's like a how do you call it? Where doctor prescribes medication, and it's like not legal, but not good for you either. It's a
what, like depressed medication and stuff, or what?
no, no. It's more like pain stuff.
Oh,
Like
okay.
she's always having
Painkillers.
surgery and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
But
mm.
they're prescribed, and
Right, right. Yeah. So a lot of times with that, that's people get caught up in all that, but they don't notice it because to them it's like, well, it's prescription, so
right.
it's basically it's medicine to help me, and they don't realize that they have a problem, or they
Yeah,
won't admit that they have a problem because it's prescribed to them, and
yeah. It's
hey,
legal.
it's doctor's orders. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So damn,
But I
it's.
mean, sorry to drop that ball, and I just
Mhm.
kind of wanted to see what your thoughts were about that, and um,
You know
I
what
think
I would you know what I would probably say is see if you could help them find a passion, a hobby,
mm,
something that they can get lost into. Um, you know, like some kids get lost in sports or painting or music or something. They've never even tried it, right? And they
no.
can they can find something where they can just lose themselves in it.
Hmm.
So I would say if maybe if you can, again, I don't know the situation, but you could take them out to do some sort of activities. Not, I don't mean like take them out to eat, go to, spend time with them. Yeah, spending time with them is good, but see
Yeah.
if they could maybe find some sort of activity
Hmm.
that's going to keep them busy,
Right.
and they're
Yeah.
going to find some sort of new passion for it,
Yeah.
and and really get lost into it, and because now that gives them a purpose.
Yeah. No.
Now
Yeah.
now they have a purpose. When I do some of this some of these weird things, when I like the Alcatraz swim, right? It's like,
Right.
okay, I just felt like that purpose. Like I gotta be in the water. I
Yeah.
gotta swim. I
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
train. I gotta prepare. Like right now, the cycling thing.
Yeah.
Every chance I get, I'm cycling. I'm just lost
Yeah,
in it.
like goals. Like I've
Yeah,
always
I'm
put out
just
goals. I've always put
you're
out goals for them, but
yeah,
some
you're just lost in it,
yeah, yeah,
So see if they could maybe you could help them find some sort of activity, try different things, see what
yeah,
they can find, see if they can, and it gives you purpose in life, it gives you
yeah,
purpose to get better at whatever the activity is, and
yeah.
you can start growing from that.
Yeah, that's all I tried to do ever since, my girls got old enough that I didn't have to really like watch over them,
Hmm.
I went to my nieces and I'm like, okay, you guys, we got to do this, we're going to do that, and we would do it, but they it just always had to do with certain things, like would be like, for instance, maybe like, money, taking them somewhere, and then I would like, flip the bill and whatnot, but later I would be like, hey, tell your mom, give you a few bucks or whatever, and then I guess that got to be a problem. Like it wasn't gonna
Mm.
happen. So I was like, man, I messed up by saying that. I shouldn't have never asked them to,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, just little weird things came in the way, and but I was always like that with them. I would bring them over. I would bake with them, and just hang out and partied it up at my house with them. Like little sleepovers and stuff with them, because my girls were already bigger, um, old enough that they wouldn't have sleepover anymore. But I would do that for them, and um, little
Yeah.
things got in the way of that. But
Yeah, that's what I would kind of recommend. It's not
mhm.
uh, not like I'm gonna buy you something or I'm just gonna be nice to you. See if you could find some sort of activity, cooking.
Yeah,
Say, hey, come over and help me, bake or cook or
yeah,
whatever.
baking was always fun. Yeah, they
Yeah, see
love that.
see
They
if
love
they
that.
can get lost in some
Hmm.
sort of activity where they can find a passion in it, get
Yeah,
lost in it, and then they find purpose in it. And by
right.
doing that, they start
That's
finding purpose in
yeah,
themselves and start
right.
valuing themselves more.
Yeah, that's what
So
they need. They need. Oh, they can put on makeup real good. I'll tell you that. Shit, on point. I'm like, damn, shit. Show me how to do that. But no, they have
well,
all day to do that,
hey, look,
and
if they do have some sort of passion for it, or if it's just, maybe it's just aesthetically for them. But if they do
yeah,
like makeup, maybe you could take it to another level with them on makeup. It's like, okay, do you like putting on other people too?
yeah,
Do you think this is something that you might want to do? Just
yeah,
different things. Keep throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks, and once they find them to add an activity,
yeah,
it's gonna be therapeutic for them because
yeah. Oh, that
they're gonna
sounds
find
cool.
value in it.
Yeah, like like purpose, because yeah, I don't
Yeah,
see them doing anything that's they hate school, they hate
I
cleaning, they hate doing stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely will brush up on that with them. Cooking and maybe having them come over and doing something.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Throw
uh,
little Tia Denise things in there.
uh,
See, just keep throwing things at the wall. See what sticks, girl.
yeah, yeah, I'll do that. As far as my sister, I mean, like I said, he passed away, and
Mm,
it's hard to believe because I was spoiled by him and never had that ever happen. Like even thought of that
mm,
towards me. Um,
right.
and there was four of us, mind you. There was four girls in the house. So why he picked her and did that, I'm just like, wow. I don't I don't even know where that. I don't know. I don't know where to go with that.
Yeah,
But I'll be
Sharon
there
Roach.
for her.
Sharon Rocha. She was the only one that was abused by her father. There was other kids there, but she was the only
Mm,
one.
wow.
Why that is?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody could always say, why me or why, but if it's not you, then it's somebody else, and then that
No.
person
Yeah.
should say why me. So
Yeah.
you know, it's the unfortunate thing in life, and just
Yeah.
grow out of it, man, or just
And the hardest thing
grow
is not
from it,
telling.
and
the hardest thing is Cholo, and I want to make sure that I'm clear on this. Anybody
Mhm.
that has been molested, they need to tell somebody. I told you earlier she does not want to tell my mom because my mom's of age, and she might, or she's over age, and you know she might not take it well. and
Right.
and with that, I was like, damn, man, you can't even tell my mom. Like, well, we don't have to. Let's just try to work it. Let's just, between you and I'm here for you. Like, you know, um,
Okay.
and that's the hard part of it all, is that my sister, can't tell my mom. Like,
Does she
or
want to tell your mom?
no, she doesn't want to tell her.
Okay.
She says my mom's too old. She's
Okay.
78. She might have a heart attack or something. Um, she don't want to tell her.
Okay. Okay.
So I made it clear to her, to my sister, that that I'm here, and that it's okay that she told me, and we'll work through whatever she needs to. She's like 600 pounds, Cholo. She's not good. She's not fit. She's pretty much
Right.
bed bound.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It's just sad.
Yeah. It
It's a sucky
happens.
situation, but all
Yeah.
right. I think I said too much. So
Nah, you said, hey, you came out and you shared, Denise. I truly appreciate
mm,
it, girlfriend.
yeah. Well, thank you for the segment, and you guys have
Yeah.
a good Thanksgiving. We'll see you tomorrow on the round table.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
We will definitely do it up. All right, Denise.
Okay.
Gracias
Good
so
night, you
much,
guys.
girl, for coming on
All
and
right.
sharing.
Okay. Bye.
Man, much love to Denise, man. Appreciate her coming on and sharing all that, man. Yeah, I can always, the whole thing of like, hey, what's one supposed to do? Man, different situations, man, call for different solutions. And sometimes we don't even know what that is. Like it just made me open my eyes right now. Like I would have loved to have connected with my niece, but at the same time, would there have been a barrier right there where I couldn't have? I can't break into the house and say, no, I'm going to talk to my niece. And, that's so, man, everybody, look, I don't want to freak anybody out. That's not why I do this, but I do want people just to be a little vigilant and take the extra precautions and, be aware of your surroundings, your kids' surroundings. And whenever, if anything like this ever does happen, por favor, for the love of God, don't just think that once it's over, hey, the person's locked up, we got them there. This never gonna happen to you again, so it's all good. No, it's not all good. That child is extremely damaged, and they need a lot of work. They need a lot of work done. They need a lot of help. Do not just, hey, this isn't gonna happen anymore. So that's it. No, that's not it. There's a lot of damage that needs to be repaired. Okay. And it can take years. It could probably take, decades, but don't just throw it over your shoulder like, hey, we solved the problem. No, hell no. The problem's not solved, man. A lot of damage needs to be repaired. All right. Hey, that's going to be it, familia. For this one, next month it will be basically the final of this year, and I plan on doing kind of like a panel a little bit, man, kind of more uplifting type. But gracias, man. I appreciate everybody that taps in for this. I know, sometimes people don't want to hear it, and it's child molestation, right? It's like, like who's gonna talk about it, right? So I understand, man, but I definitely appreciate, man, for those that tap in and spend their time to just hear me out and hear the stories of those that have came on to share their stories. I definitely appreciate them, and I appreciate you guys. But with that, familia, I'm gonna get up out of here. You guys have a great rest of the night. I'll catch you guys on the next one. As always, live your life like you're on the road. Be aware of your surroundings and always keep it safe. This is blood. Make sure you let it but loyalty makes you family. Until next time, this is Ed the Troll Trucker, over and out.